Hey, it's Steve. Most people think of fat is the problem, that if you just lose weight, everything gets better. But that's not actually what's happening. The real issue is what's happening inside the fat, because not all fat behaves the same. Fat under the skin is relatively stable, but fat around the organs and fat that builds into muscle tissue creates a completely different environment. An environment that becomes inflamed, oxygen-deprived, and metabolically dysfunctional. At the center of that dysfunction is something almost no one talks about: mitochondrial congestion. Inside these tissues, energy stops flowing. Not because there's lack of fuel, but because the system is overloaded and backed up. Electrons can't move efficiently, oxygen isn't being delivered properly, and the mitochondria shift into a stress state. It's like a traffic jam. Everything is there, but nothing is moving. So what do most people do? They try to burn more fat, eat less, exercise more, and supplement. But if the tissue itself is hypoxic, if oxygen isn't reaching these cells, fat can't be properly oxidized in the first place. That's one of the biggest hidden barriers to fat loss. The environment itself is broken. And when that happens, the body compensates. More glycolysis, more inflammation, more oxidative stress, and the cycle just continues. This is why most people get stuck. It's not a motivation issue, it's a physiological bottleneck. Now, this is where carbon dioxide completely changes the picture. Because CO2 doesn't force fat loss, it restores the condition that makes fat metabolism possible. It improves oxygen delivery right where it's needed. It opens up the microcirculation in those compressed tissues, and it allows mitochondria to start functioning normally again. When that happens, the congestion clears, energy starts flowing, and fat can finally be used in a way it's supposed to be. CO2 also reduces inflammation within fat tissue. It helps quiet the signals that keep the tissue locked in stress. And it even helps soften fibrosis, that rigid scar-like structure that traps fat and blocks normal function. So instead of attacking fat directly, CO2 restores the entire terrain. It shifts fat from dysfunctional, inflammatory state back into a responsive metabolic tissue. And when that happens, fat loss becomes a natural outcome, not something you have to force. You don't fix fat by fighting it. You fix the environment, and the body takes care of the rest. You can learn more in depth about that in my new book, The Carbonated Body, found on Amazon.com.